The comprehensive assessment of spoken language.
The basic characteristics of this assessment is that it is a norm reference test, oral language assessment battery of tests, and it's for children and young adults aged 3 to 21 years. The results provide information on oral language skills that children and adolescents need to become literate, as well as to succeed in school and the work environment.
The CASL includes 15 individually administered tests with a multiple-choice response format requiring no reading or writing. The CASL provides an in-depth evaluation of the following: the oral language processing systems of auditory comprehension, oral expression, and word retrieval, the knowledge and use of words and grammatical structures of language, the ability to use language for special tasks requiring higher-level cognitive functions, and the knowledge and use of language in communicative context.
The test battery measures the process of comprehension, expression, and retrieval in these categories: lexical/semantic, syntactical, supralinguistic, and pragmatic.
Scoring for this test. The scores of the CASL range from 40 to 160. The individual test scores can be reported as a standard score with a mean of 100 and a standard deviation of 15. They can be reported as a percentile, a normal curve equivalent, Stanine, and test age equivalent. The individual test scores. These include a core composite, processing index, and category index, provided as age and grade-based standard scores, grade and test age equivalents, percentiles, normal curve equivalents, and Stanines.
For the evaluation of this test, there are multiple steps. The first step includes converting raw scores to standard scores for the 15 tests. Number 1, transfer each raw score from the inside pages of the record form to the raw score column in the conversion section. Number 2, use Table 1 in the norm book. Locate the section that corresponds to the examinee's chronological age using only the year and the month. And number 3, to find the standard score for each test, read down the appropriate column to the raw score obtained on that particular test. Then read left or right across the row to the standard score column. Transfer the standard score to the small 6-sided box in the appropriate row in the conversion section.
Step 2, determine confidence intervals. Number 1, transfer the standard scores for each CASL test administered from the small 6-sided boxes in the raw score to standard score conversion section to the larger 6-sided boxes in the score summary section. Number 2, using Table 2 in the norms book, find the examinee's chronological age in the first column. Number 3, select the confidence level based on both personal preference and the nature of the decision to be made for the examinee. Enter this level on the blank line following the bands of error row labeled in the score summary section. Enter the same confidence level in the blank after the confidence interval label in the row below. Using Table 2, read across the bands of error table from the appropriate age in the first column and the selected confidence level in the second column to find the value for each CASL test administered. Enter these values next to the plus or minus symbols in the bands of error row in the score summary section. And Step 5, subtract the error value from and add it to the standard score for each test. Record these confidence intervals in the appropriate boxes in the confidence interval row in the score summary section.
Step 3, converting standard scores to percentiles, normal equivalents, and Stanine. 2, find the standard score for each CASL test administered in the first column of Table 6 and read across the appropriate column for the desired scores. Record the percentile rank in the appropriate box in the percentile row in the core summary section. Find the values for the NC, ES, and Stanines corresponding to each CASL standard score and record them in the next 2 rows of the core summary section.
Step 4, obtain test age equivalents. Test age equivalents for CASL tests are derived from raw scores. Using Table 7, find the examinee's raw score in the appropriate CASL test column and read across to left or right to find the corresponding test age equivalent. Record the values in the correct boxes in the test age equivalent row in the score summary section.
Now we will demonstrate the test.
There are 3 test books that correspond to the skills assessed in the CASL.
Test Book 1 of the CASL assesses lexical and semantic skills.
Test Book 2 of the CASL assesses syntactic skills.
And the third test book of the CASL assesses supralinguistic and pragmatic skills.
Now we are going to demonstrate each of these tests. Abby likes her mother to read her a book. Good job. The garden was so beautiful that she stopped to pick up one of the flowers. Good job. Now we will move on to test book 2. Look at the picture and listen carefully. I'm going to say something about the picture, then I will ask you to say something. This boy is standing. This boy is
Sitting.
Good job. This boy is standing and this boy is sitting. Now we will try another one. Where is the fish swimming?
In the water.
Good job. The fish is swimming in the water. Now we will move on to test book 3. What do you do when you ask to go out and play?
Can I go out and play?
Good job. Debbie gives Tom half of her candy bar. What does Tom say to Debbie?
Thank you.
Good job.
After each test is administered, you record your results in the corresponding sections of the protocol.